be the case if he's playing a control mage like Oriana up against that second game. And here in game number 3, with a series teetering on the edge, we have Weber back on his jacks that he absolutely set the world alight on against SBTC, a team still from the Southeast Asia region, a team that beat Team Secret many times throughout the year, but they were very much put on their backsides by Weber.
Yeah, and they're put on their backsides by Team Secret yesterday as well. Team Secret obviously had to beat them to get to this stage of the tournament, and they did so in commanding fashion. And Team Secret now have that strong bot. That's a level 1 engage right now. They're going to bot. Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's the danger of Anami, right? You are a very squishy level 1. And James having to burn that flash. Did throw the ignite down, but the heal coming out from Chewy as well as the heal ignites coming out from Wind and Emo. So lots of summoners being burnt within the first minute.
That's not a good look, though, if you are a strong side bot lane. You've now lost priority to a Varus and a Rakan, and I think just it's an uncharacteristic error from James, honestly. He is usually so apt at his positioning, usually so smart about the way he plays the game, and just, I think, disrespected a level 1 all-in from the DKG bot lane there. You can see now Treble. If anyone's wondering why this happens, by the way, and it's something you'll see a lot throughout professional play, if anyone's wondering why your jungler just randomly shows himself in lane mid, it's because he wants to shove the lane and get automatic mid lane priority, which basically for free allows him to go for one of the scuttle crabs. So that's why you see Treble do that. He just wants to ensure that there's no way that anyone can respond to his scuttle crab take on the top side of the map, and we'll go ahead and do that easily. But Weber just able to go and take the bottom one, so we see a scuttle trade for a scuttle trade at the start of the game here. Although you can see Trebor on the top side of the map.
Go for the engage. Trebor not really going to land the shots that he wanted though. YK, ooh, this is a dangerous shot for him though. He has no fruits. Yo coming up though, the mid laner to help out. Weber's nearby as well. They're going to try and bait this one out here. Doesn't land it. Trebor will back away, and they have to respect that.
I love it. Look at this, and watch right here. Weber sees that mid lane wave. That's not going to waste. Oh. This is, look, Professor Iraqi Zoro is being shown in full force right here, because this is something that they do incredibly well. Yo acts as a second jungler to kind of help prevent top lane dives. He stops top lane weak side, from being an easy place for Team Secret to get some free gold. And then those resources mid don't go to waste, because Weber just exits the jungle, soaks them up, and goes back to clearing the jungle very early on. This is classic DKG, and it's all about facilitating this really strong jungler. Great double bubble, they can't follow up on it. But I'm going to say, that is, not often do you get the chance as an analyst to kind of illustrate something and you see it happen in such clear daylight, but that is exactly what you just saw from Yo. Sacks his lane off to help YK on the top side, and then Weber just absorbs the rest of the resources.
Just the rest of the world, when I say sacks it off, what he means is he leaves the lane. English lingo, it can be strong sometimes, I know, to the rest of the world. There's quite a lot of languages out there.
Sacks it off. I never thought about how stupid that phrase sounds until just now.
Yeah, I mean, we all have our banter. I get the benefit of living in Germany, so I don't quite get caught up in it. That's a great bubble. Should get backed up on, but it was the Rakan of Emo. It was Wind they were looking for, which is where Trevor would have almost certainly piled in. 30 seconds now until we do see that Rift Herald and Mountain Drake come up, which will be important. Which one do you prioritize, or can you get both?
Still a relatively even though. 1,000 gold lead being built up through just some natural gold advantages in the jungle, mid and bot. Obviously a lot of it being in favor of Wind right now, hit a very early level 1. And I think you're right, where are we going to see some priority? We are going to see that again, very classic rotation that we see at the Horizon Cup. You move your bot lane to mid to ensure that you get mid lane prio, which gives you some flexibility about what type of objectives you want to set up for. Team Secret have got a better setup here for the Rift Heralds, just given their positioning, but they aren't going to commit to it just yet.
I would say we've seen 2 gank attempts now from Team Secret. Nothing for DKG yet. They're trying to be a little bit more cautious, but now, of course, the Rift Herald will be started off. Weber on there already. Now, Asa did just come down and have a little peek, got himself the ward down there, so they know that this is happening, DKG, but they're choosing not to contest it. They want to take the Drake instead, but DKG, once again, as we saw before, Wind and Yo just trying to distract here at the Dragon, trying to delay things. They get the Rift Herald, and here comes the rest of DKG. Weber's about to arrive. They don't have YK anywhere near at the moment. He's a long way away from this one, but DKG have done enough to force Team Secret off the objective.
Yeah, Team Secret have got to respect the very strong Titan spikes and power spikes that we're at right now as well. You can see Triforce. We have the Rod of Ages for the Diana. It's much, much stronger than the Archangels for Tatsuri. The team fight right now from DKG is much, much better. Because you have that really big level 5 Diana ultimate, you have a great item spike for her. Rakan has gone Rod of Ages, by the way.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it's not an unusual build. This is actually a relatively common build for Rakan, just because he scales so well with AP and health in general. It's actually quite a nice build that allows him to have really big impact with his ultimate and his grand entrance. So it's kind of become a very popular Rakan build over the last few months. But it does mean that you have to respect these item spikes. Like, there are some big item spikes for all of the DKG side right now. And obviously Team Secret just not confident enough to go for the team fight.
Yeah, the fact that he's already picked it up and they're already on a chest thump around the Dragon. So YK and Asa heading down the river. Asa actually waiting for him in the river, so he wants to go for the one-on-one engage. And that means it's going to be a simple pickup for DKG. As it does come down, way too late to the party. Wind will just flash away from that one.
Yeah, Wind knew what was up there, had to make the flash happen. Weber, I think Weber, yeah, he's telegraphing this a little bit too hard, and he knows.
Is the rest of the team coming? This is going to be a 4v5 if they stick with it. Weber will just be able to jump away to Yo, though. And a simple disengage, but Team Secret committed everything to that. And while that's happening, YK is just farming for free on the top lane.
And he's going for the top lane tower too. He has got that standard, which increases attack speed. Got another wave piling in, but I don't think he's going to get away with it. Oh my gosh.
I mean, this is the danger, right? This is what we're talking about with the control mage. She's not going to have really that solo capability against the Diana like Yo. And that is worrisome for Tatsuri there.
Well, I just, this is what I don't get, right? You just saw how good, like, Team Secret were when Tatsuri was able to maneuver into a side lane and actually beat Yo, you know, pretty comfortably on the Zed. Now you've given him a control mage who's going to stand no chance versus a Diana in a side lane, and he's going to be starved of resources, and he's also not going to be able to hold Diana. That to me just feels very anti what Team Secret just did to win. So I feel like they almost like drafted away from their own win conditions in this little...
I was very confused that it didn't go with the Zed or something like that. That just worked out so well for him, as I say, the carry. But this is something we've seen from Team Secret, the fact that they can, you know, switch the carry. Who's going to be the carry today? Well, at the moment, you would hope it was going to go to Wales Chewy, but Chewy's 1,000 gold behind Wind already because of the objectives going in their favor. Riptail's going to get thrown down on the top lane.
The problem for Team Secret is that when they see these resources, like, you know, 2 guys committed to the top side of the map, they don't really have a button they can press to say immediately engage, right? They can't really, even Nami is a slow engage tool. The wave is quite telegraphed, the bubble's hard to hit. They don't really have a button where you can just say, oh, we need to punish them now, because that's not available to Team Secret. And that's something that I think DKG are going to have much, much in their favor. I also want to holistically talk about the sort of the whole process of playing through Dragon Lane in this current meta. When your Dragon Lane at 4 minutes into the game leaves the Dragon Lane and goes to the mid and just permanently farms mid wave, so you get some kind of a you know, eye on the objectives. That's not a great lane to play through right now, and I think you can see why in this game.
Being protected and checked away. He's going to try and come in and get the smite down. Will he be able to steal it away? No, it's not. That goes the way of Team Secret, but how's the fight going to go? Azza's in trouble. Weber's taken low. Azza will get picked off on the backside there, but at the moment it's just a 1-2 kill favor DKG. We did talk about them being the favorite. Tribord gets away just about, but is he safe? They are going to dive in towards the turret. They're not going to follow on through, and it will be turret for Herald. Team Secret got their objective, but oh, what cost? I mean, two deaths, possible 1 turret, maybe 2 here.
Take a look back at the Axe replay here. As you can see, they do have superior setup on this objective, but when you are in the pit, it does make you very vulnerable to wind. And again, you can't really be proactive in re-engaging onto DKG. So DKG happily take the 4v5 right now. They know they've done a lot of damage to the Varus beforehand, and by the time that Yo turns up, most of the damage is done. Obviously, they lose the objective here, but realistically, again, Team Secret, they would have wanted to force that engage much quicker if they could have done, and on their terms, realistically.
This is good response. They're going to be able to get this turret. The Infernal Drake does spawn. That's going to go the way of DKG unless they're quick to react. They are going to try to get close. No, they don't have any vision. They can't get close to this pit, so they happily just take that top turret. But Gold's going to keep on swinging the way of DKG. The bot turret almost certainly will fall here.
And I think a discussion to be had here, D-Man, is that, yes, okay, they pick up the Rift Herald, but the question is, what does Rift Herald get you? What is the value of that particular objective? Well, most of the time it's a turret, right? Most of the time the best case scenario for Rift Herald is a turret. Lovely clear of the waves there.
Five-man push. Tremor gotta get away from this. The wave's already been used, but here comes the rest of the team. Emo arrives, and now Weber's on the scene. They've already lost Trevor down, and you can see Azza running for his life, but they have to backtrack away, and that is a Rift Herald that got them absolutely nothing.
And I think that draws back to what we were just talking about. Like, Rift Herald's value, most of the time, best case scenario, is a tower. If you're very lucky and you're very ahead, sometimes 2 towers. If you trade Rift Herald for a tower, you're already down on that objective value, right? You're already losing out on what that objective was designed to give you. So the best case scenario is that you use it to get a particular tower that you want, or you use it to create a bit of pressure in a lane when there's another objective that you're more concerned about. A mid-lane tower being a great, example of that. DKG just nullified that instantly. YK again just trying to prevent that tower from dropping, but it will be a pickup for Team Secret, but they have lost so much in the process that these are just small scraps that they're scraping off the floor when DKG are running the show.
Well, the danger, of course, of losing those mid-turrets is the vision that it gives you. Now, timeouts coming from DKG's wards are going to go down, but they did manage to get the Scuttle Crab, so they have good river vision at the moment as Team Secret, but you can see the gold. 6,000 gold in the favor of DKG, and that's not really stacked on one person. It's pretty much spread, smattered across everybody. You can see all the carriers all with 2,000 plus gold advantages at the moment, so it's a little worrisome come the next team fight how far behind they're going to be. A couple of items popping in though for Team Secret and DKG as they set themselves up. Of course, the Baron would be the next, but most certainly the next objective will be that Drake. And at the moment, DKG is starting to get their ward dominance.
And I still think, unfortunately, if you're Team Secret, you can't team fight. And say, oh, Trevor has to flush away. I think if you're Team Secret, you can't team fight. You have the inferior item spikes right now. You have the inferior team fight right now. Like, I think Orianna needs that Ramadan Death Cap to really have the impact that she's hoping for. We have a flank, though.
Oh, that's a wave that I'm not convinced about. Azza is trying to flank, but where's he going to flank into? 5 members of DKG? I don't think so. Run the hell away from that one, and that's an engage that just didn't work. And, well, the ulti obviously used out from Hammers there to get that tidal wave down. Just didn't catch anything. Now Hammers is having to back away. And what is still happening? Azza has got to soak that top lane, so they're aware that they're going to lose objectives. Azza, you've got to be careful. They're going to try and collapse.
And I think, when we look back at the gold, even though you were saying it's so spread, I want to reiterate the story of this team and the story of DKG always has been about flavor. And again, the gold reflects it. He is 2,500 gold as the jungler ahead of anybody else in his team. He is the story of this team. This is the guy that they play around. They facilitate him. They build comps around him. And every single game, without fail, he accelerates that gold lead far beyond anyone else in the game. Even in their loss versus Team Secret, he was wildly ahead of the game, in terms of the gold value. Now, it looks like Team Secret is saying, yeah, they're rushing it.
Rushing the Baron. I mean, they came straight out and got the walls down, but look at that, they're spotted instantly. Emo goes in. Emo's so confident. He goes in for Trevor, and they get him. Wind and Emo. That was it. That was 2 people versus 5, and they backed away and gave it up.
Still going in the fight here. YK flashes back into the pit.
Nothing they can do about it. That's going to get picked up. Weber will focus this one, and DKG should just run through the rest of Team Secret now with that Baron buff. Weber, he is an unstoppable machine. Counter-Strike comes through. You're not going to get away from that one, son. Big bonk on the end. Yo comes through. Tatsuri can't do a thing. There's no hero moments coming out from Zed this time around. The Orianna is simple cannon fodder, and it is an ace, and the Baron go to DKG.
And this might even just be the game with that Baron minion set up so well on the top side of the map here. DKG pushing in, Trayvon the only one to defend.
Yeah, we know how quickly that can fall, especially with Weber on Jax. He will just pummel down the Nexus. And just like that, when Team Secret tried to set up a play, it's DKG that take everything in their favor.
And I feel, because I think Team Secret knew that
A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115